Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a great and wonderful day. And it seems that finally the ladies are fighting back against the transgender insanity. And I think there is more power to this. Now, I think that this one individual, yes, you're going to see a story that I will bring up, obviously, but it has something a lot to do that that not everybody is going to go into is going to have the same effect. And you'll see why. Take a look at this, where this woman explains her story of fighting a trans individual and winning.
I'm sure you've seen the tweets or the article about trans athletes competing against women in jiu-jitsu. And as one of those females, I wanted to come on here and kind of share my experience about what happened to me in July. So I signed up for a tournament called Submission Challenge on July 8th in Marietta, Georgia. And I wasn't fully expecting to get a match because I was a purple belt at the time and there was no purple belt signed up other than me. But sometimes a blue belt will step up to fight a purple belt. So at this point, I was grateful that I had a match. Until I found out later in this day that I am indeed fighting a biological male. So let's kind of get into my match and my thoughts during it was happening. So I immediately got in the clinch because I always rush in. And as soon as I clinched up, I knew something was different. They felt so strong. I was like, oh my God, this is a very strong old lady. What? So initially I am in total panic mode. I feel their strength and I'm like, oh, I can't take them down. Better pull guard. And then I work my sweep. I get the sweep and I feel a little more comfortable. And then eventually, you know, like maybe 30, 40 seconds later, I get the tap with the Ezekiel choke. And I get off the mat and I know I still have a second match with this person because it's a best 2 out of 3 bracket. We were the only 2 people in it. So we have to fight 2 to 3 times. So here we have the second match. I take a little different approach because I know now that this is a very strong individual and I don't rush in. They get their grips and I get yanked. I get yanked twice and I'm like, this is so weird. But when they yank me, I kind of fall into a body lock and I'm just so confused. And then they pull guard, I pass, and then I get a paper cutter choke. And then they tell the ref they didn't tap. When I originally posted this on TikTok, I received a lot of hate. And this was never about me winning or beating a trans opponent. This was about me giving a voice to other girls like Jaden and Adela who were scared in their matches.
Now, let me pipe in a little bit here. She did end up beating this individual, which good on her. Kudos to her that she actually won, just based off of technique, but not specifically strength. And I want everybody to understand here. Just because she won does not mean this is necessarily a thing that should be happening. As we can see here, is that we're probably going to go and read this right here. So what we're going to do is exactly that. It says here, spearheading a movement towards protecting a woman's place in jiu-jitsu, and I thought I might mention my own experience. I competed against this same trans athlete with no prior warning at a Submission Challenge on July 8th. Due to the fact that I won the match, I was hesitant to speak out for fear of backlash and arguments stating that we shouldn't have any issue if we can compete and win. Regardless of the outcome of this one match, a safety concern is presented that when a 43-year-old, 170 biological male is considered in a bracket with young women. I experienced a match where I felt unsafe and overwhelmed by the strength and size of my opponent. You can obviously tell that when even from this video here, as you can see here, this man is obviously towering over this individual. It's not really the size comparison is huge, especially in physical sports. Size can mean a lot in physical sports. And I experienced a match where I felt safe, etc., etc. Luckily, I have an awesome coach who kept me calm and coached me into securing a win. Us women were given our own space within sports to keep us safe and allow us to thrive in an environment made specifically for us. This has been jeopardized with the allowance of trans women in our divisions. We may train in a room with men every day, but they are aware of our biological differences and take care not to harm us in any way. Competing under a false pretense of being a female can lead to opportunities for injury and other opportunities, etc., etc. And let me also add this as well to the lady where she said she received hate. Yes, because what we have here in general is that when you have to deal with the far left or the far left trans people, they don't like it very much when you say things like this. This is a common thing of their tactic to where they will spout hate when you're trying to show the dangers of it. When you have people like Jaden and other people are afraid of this individual for actually going up against them because their strength is so overwhelming, let's put this perfectly clear. She only won due to her actual superior technique, which, again, kudos to her for actually being able to do good on technique. But if it was down to raw strength, this person completely loses and outmatch. You can see even here where she's being thrown or being pulled with no effort from the individual whatsoever. So this is something that's a great cause of concern, and it's a one thing, and I do glad that there was a positive end result to all of this.
And I can't believe people actually think this is okay. If Cordelia had beaten one of these girls that day, she would have been fighting a 16-year-old biological female. The support that me and Jaden have received from this has been so amazing. And we just want to thank you guys so much for protecting women's sports and especially women's grapplers.
Because what she seems to know is that we defend people who are wrongly unjustified or allowing things to happen. And, as I've said before on this channel, the women that go up and speak out against these type of things will get my full support. Yes, I understand there is fear. I understand that you're fear of the society to where it's an issue. But if you guys are looking to speak out and defend yourselves and and are trying your best to change the way you are, then you will have my 100% support. My issue is the ladies that do not say anything, that are quiet, and they allow this to happen. Well, I don't know how to really support you or help you if you're not going to be willing to defend yourself. Defend yourself and you'll have my backing. If you don't, then, well, that's a problem. And thanks for this one young lady here that does MMA. I actually just makes me kind of want to get jiu-jitsu because I do like martial arts in general. I did do karate, not my thing, but at least she's speaking out and having her say her piece. And these ladies were actually terrified against her, even going against this person. They were scared because of their massive strength difference. And there's the thing. There's one thing you have to keep in line here. Is that this person had a normal strength difference. Now, we're going to go through the article here, and it's explaining this exactly. A martial arts competition changes rules after female fighters pull out over safety fears after facing trans grapplers. So, what we have there is terrified female martial artists say they pulled out of recent competitions to avoid facing much stronger transgender fighters, forcing a mega organization to revise its rules to ensure trans females can now only face men. Good job, ladies. Good job. This is the support and type of fighting back I want to see. When you see your guys getting wronged, and when you guys are seeing this, yes, 100%, I will back you without any kind of remorse, because you are actually trying to fight back and defend your sports. Keep doing this. This is exactly what we need. And when you stand firm onto what you guys believe, you guys can force these people out of your sports and have it more fair to you guys. And more women need to do this. This is very fantastic news. The North American Grappling Association said it overhauled its rules after complaints about transgender female athletes fighting in recent events. In one of its jiu-jitsu events in Georgia earlier this month, transgender grappler Corsia Griffith took home 4 gold medals in women's competitions, while another Cordella Gregory placed second, the feminist outlet's Rudick said. Naga suggested that transgender grapplers were likely competing by simply taking female and registration forms and then going unnoticed. However, a number of women have come forward to complain about safety fears from uneven matchups, not all at NAGA events. That left some so scared they pulled out of major tournaments to avoid similar encounters. Jaden Alexander said she was left in tears after fighting a transgender woman at an unspecified event in July, and was so devastated and afraid she pulled out of future competitions, including a NAGA one. The simple fact of the matter is that men signing up in a combat sport to fight women is absolutely unacceptable, she said. 100%. And here's the thing. This is why I do not agree with this, because women are scared and they don't want to be fighting a male. Because let's be honest, men have a huge advantage over women in physicality. This is just reality. Now, as you can see, this woman won, but this was due to a sanctioned place. Now, put it into where we had a MMA or a boxing event or what have you, and that woman had her skull broken in. So this goes to the reason why this is a problem. The experience was horrible and scary. I was absolutely in fight or flight mode, she said in an Instagram post video. We don't deserve to self-exclude from competition to avoid fighting men. We deserve for there to be rules and regulations put into place that keep us safe and that protect us from these situations happening in the first place. Last month, Taylor Moore, a 155-pound woman, posted a video of her fighting a 200-pound transgender athlete, which she captioned, "My biggest opponent yet." Although Moore won the fight, her coach Jimmy Witt complained that she could have been severely injured. Yes, exactly. And that is our great fear to all this. Another fighter, Alicia Wilk, said she was not told she would be fighting a transgender woman at a July 8th competition and was left in panic mode. They felt so strong, I was like, oh my god, I thought I was going to take them down, she said of the match that she eventually won. They eventually going to say they are extremely upset. They are emailing Federation leadership and being dismissed, Smith told Redox. Naga stressed that not all the women speaking out had their bad experiences at their event. It also said that rules were for biological females to always be given the choice to fight transgender athletes when they were aware of their involvement. However, NAGA President Kip Kohler conceded on Instagram that registration for events only asks competitors if they are male or female without the option to declare themselves as transgender. We are adding additional text to the event and rules page to help inform transgender females with which division they need to enter, Kohler said. Maintaining fairness for female athletes is a paramount priority, Klopp said, and nothing that is even more important given the heightened potential for injury in grappling. From now on, male to female transgender athletes who have gone through male puberty are excluded from competing in the female division at NAGA events. Transgender females must compete in the men's division, NAGA also said in an update to its policy Saturday. We hope that the simplicity of this revised policy will help to avoid any future occurrences where transgender females enter women's divisions. So, yes, this is a massive victory for females. Go, ladies, and this is something that we needed more. Like I said, you women need to fight more and fight more and to protect your sports. You can't let men do everything for you. Because, again, you guys were the ones that didn't believe us. You guys didn't want to go and say stuff like this, so now we're men are stepping back. But if you're going to go and do stuff like this, then you get our support. Because I know not all women support this type of stuff. I know this is the reality. And you guys need to fight back, as I've been saying. And you guys are doing a good job so far, at least when it comes to MMA. And we're making a pretty big, strong turnaround against this transgender insanity. Alright, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted about what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. Cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.